Good morning, everybody. How's it going?
Good morning. How are you doing?
I am feeling good, feeling good. Happy not to fight traffic on the way to work. I love it when we get to get
That's
things
great.
done remotely. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful time to be alive. So, oh yes, there we have everybody arriving. Fantastic. So I'm recording the class right now. And here's our agenda for today. All right. So we're going to go into the history of the word bootlegging. And that was a word I introduced yesterday, which was used in the TV show we're studying, Mo. In the show, the main character, Mo, loses his job permit. And we discussed how is he going to make money if he can't legally work. He said, I'm going to sell bootlegs and counterfeits. Counterfeit, that means fake merchandise, but bootleg as the synonym, that is exclusively American English, which I introduced yesterday. And I promised you I would go into a full history of it. And that's what we're going to begin with the lesson today. So if you see this newspaper as my background, this is part of a history of the word bootlegging. So it says moonshine raid on Copperhead Road. This is a famous location in relationship to this word bootlegging, which we use in the United States for selling fake or illicit, illegal merchandise. So that's the exciting part of the lesson today we're going to get started with. More people are arriving. There we go. Bill Massandra Letty. Fantastic. Then we're going to look further into bootlegging in popular culture, movies, sports, music. And then we'll get into question 2, and everybody will have a chance to write their answer to question number 2, which we began slowly in class yesterday. After that, we're going to take a 10-minute break. Give everybody a chance to grab a drink of water, do whatever you need to do. And we'll wrap up class by writing. So at the end of class today, everyone should have a full answer on the worksheet to questions number 1 and question number 2. So we need to see some writing on those documents. And with whatever time is left.
Good morning, teacher.
Thanks, Sandra. So whatever time is left, we're going to finish with a little bit of vocabulary, and that's it. So there we are. That is the plan for today. So it looks like everyone has arrived. Good to see you all. And I'm going to take attendance. Here we go. Moving to the attendance page. That's very important. Okay. Happy July 11th. Here we go. I see Echinzona, good morning. We have Giselle. Yes, we have Giselle. Do we have Soraya? Yes, you were one of the early ones here. Yes, that's Kalia, Sandra. Do we have Gervinus Ricardo?
Joseph is there. I'm Joseph. I'm there. I'm there.
Similar sounding name. Guevara.
iPhone, yeah, Joseph.
Okay. Do you know how to change the change your profile?
Yeah, I'm going to do.
You go to the 3 dots at the top, Joseph, and then you can give yourself a name. But you had your camera on, so I saw your face. I knew it was you. Melissa, do we have Melissa today? Melissa going once, no Melissa. Okay. Minardi, do we have Minardi?
Yes, I'm here.
I see you. There you are. Fantastic. Kleshi, I saw Kleshi. Just double checking. No, I didn't see Kleshi. I saw Kayla. Nope.
I am here. Clash is here.
Ah, there you are. Yes, I knew I saw the name. I saw the Kayla and Kleshi. I thought I confused one for the other. Okay. Kleshi, how you doing?
Good. How you been?
let's see, Amarilis, yes, I see you, Amarilis, very nice. Ronnie, where is Ronnie? Okay. Daniela. Daniela, I see you.
teacher.
There you are. How you doing?
I'm good.
Good, good, good. I don't think I see Angie. No Angie. Michelle Pierre. Negative. Karen. Do we have Karen?
Yes, I'm here.
Karen, how you doing?
Good, thank you.
Wesley. Sandy. Do we have a Sandy? Nope, I don't see Sandy. Okay. Elise. I think I just saw you. Oh. Yep. Elise. No Elise. Raphael. No Raphael. Joseph is here.
Yeah, I'm there.
Yep. Lady. Do we have a lady?
Hi, teacher.
Hi, lady. And Namik is recovering. And do we have a Bilma? There she is. I see Bilma.
Hi, teacher.
Okay. We're all set. Hold on a second. Eliza, are you?
Yeah.
Hang on one second. Arsha. Oh, there you are. Is this the correct spelling of your name? E-L-I-S-E or E-L-I-Z-A? Which this name right here, because I remember you yesterday. Is this the correct spelling of your name?
Me?
Yeah. Is it Elise or Eliza? I just see your
Eliza. No, Elisa or Eliza, but in Brazil is Elisa.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I would get it right. Would you like it to be E-L-I-Z-A or E-L-I-S-E? It's up to you. It's your name. That's why I'm asking you.
Elisa. Elisa.
Okay. I'll change that right now. Okay. There you go. All right. Welcome, everybody. And let's begin. Good to see you all. And I'm very impressed that everyone has got some front light. With the demonstration in class yesterday, I showed you the backlight and front light. I see some faces lit up, ready to go. Oh, there is Angie. Let me add her to the list. Angie has arrived. Angie. There she is. Okay. There she is. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So good. Moving along. Okay. So in the show, oops, let me change my slide here. All right. This is what we watched yesterday. So in this scene, which is on question number 2, the main character, Mo, goes to visit 2 of his friends. Who can describe this scene, just in a few words? What was happening here? Anybody want to volunteer? What happened in this scene at the hookah lounge where they're having tea and hummus and smoking their hookahs and arguing? What's going on here?
Can you whip it? Can you whip it?
You know what I'll do? I will add closed captions right now so you can read what I'm saying as I say it. Here we go. Okay, everybody. Closed captions.
Yes, Mohammed said was talking to his friend or family. He said, "You want to?" They asked him, What will he do if he don't work?" And he said, there is one of them said to him, "You have a friend or someone who have a restaurant. You can go there and work there." And he said, "No, you don't want to work. He will buy clothes and sell them as a bootleg, like see, the other picture is he was on the street and find someone and told them to buy his stuff.
Okay, I'm gonna have to mute you right there. There's a lot of static, but I'm gonna tell everyone, your answer was pretty spot on. It was a lot of static. What Minardi just said was absolutely right. So Muhammad goes to his friends. This friend has a clothing store, but this friend has a connection. And who remembers the word, this phrase, can you hook me up? What was he asking for from this guy?
He was asking for help.
Yeah, help. What specifically was he asking for? You're right, Soraya.
He was asking his friend to help him find bootlegs, merchandise.
Exactly. So he's asking his friend, can you hook me up? Can you get me some fake merchandise? And that's the bootlegs. Now, what was the reaction at first? At first did he say, oh, sure, right away? Or did he have a different reaction? Tell us, Joseph.
Different reaction.
Yeah, tell us, Daniela, what was the reaction? He said, if your father was alive, it was shaking his head.
The guy next to him say no because it's a fake products, and he knows the father, and he maybe didn't like he said to fake product because he maybe have a problem with the police. So,
Police, yes.
Police.
Excellent. So he knows it's illegal. He knows he might get in trouble, and he's worried. This is a bad idea. They're saying, no. That's absolutely right. And he says, I'm going to sell bootlegs and counterfeits. His friend says, okay, fine, I can help you. And then one of the next scenes, he's in a parking lot talking to this guy. And this was pretty funny. It was a great scene. What is happening here? Let's get someone else to describe this scene that we saw. Who can describe? Anybody else? Daniela, you can choose anybody you see on the video panel.
Karen. He was trying to convince him to buy the fake merchandise he had.
So yes, Mo was trying to convince this older guy to buy some fake merchandise. Can we give some more details? It was great. Because first he said he's walking, he's overweight, he's holding his back, and he says, hey, I got something for you.
Hi, thank you. Good morning.
When Mo try to convince the another sir, the another sir didn't want the of merchancy, and because he didn't know Mo, and then accepted that try.
Okay, so this is the man in the cowboy hat, the old man. He says, first, okay, well, who can tell me what happened? Did he make the sale? Did he get the money? Did he sell the merchandise?
I think, teacher, he got a job.
Well, my question is, did he sell the merchandise?
Yeah, he did.
Yes.
Yeah, he was a great salesman. Tell us more, Daniela.
For him and for his wife.
Or yeah, his girlfriend. That's another story because he's not his problems with immigration would be solved if he would just marry Maria, but he won't because of the religious and cultural differences. But how did he make that sale? Who could describe the interaction? Because those are some of the great details.
They planning to make money to back selling bootlegs and the coffees.
Well, in this, does everybody see this picture on the right side of the screen?
Yes.
How did he make that sale? How did he get that money? How did he get that stranger to hand him $300 for fake stuff? He was very charming, very friendly. How did he do it? What did he say?
Hello, I think. Hello?
Yep, we hear you.
Can I go?
Little noise in the background, but we can hear you.
Can I go now?
Yes, please. Yeah, tell us.
Okay, I think because of the bootlegs, he was able to convince the man that when he gets maybe the real stuff is gonna cost him much more money than the price he's giving to him. So he's trying to convince him that he's giving him a cheaper price, you know, than the price he's gonna get it in the market. So
good details. Now, who can tell me what specifically he was selling? He sold the man.
Some Yeezy.
Yeah. He said it looked kind of funny to see the old man wearing the Yeezys. And then he says, "Oh, these feel good." And then, like Echinzona said, "These would go for 500. I'll sell them to you for 2." And then he goes, "No. And then he pulls out the fake purse and he says, "Your wife could buy this. It's a replica. She won't know the difference." And then he gives him $300 and walks away with the fake Yeezys and the fake purse. So so it's a good day. It was a good day's work. Looks like he's doing okay. But we're going to see what happens by the end of the episode. So that's the scene that we watched yesterday. But let's go back to the word bootleg. Who remember? This is the slide I showed everybody yesterday. The word bootlegging comes from this period in history. Prohibition, which began in 1919 and finished in 1933. The photograph right here that I showed you yesterday says, farewell 18th Amendment. And as I said yesterday, that was a new law created that was then changed. So our Constitution is a shifting document. It's not written like many countries have a constitution, basic law that changes over time. What was illegal that I mentioned yesterday in this period of time? Who can tell me?
Sell alcohol.
Yes, selling alcohol was illegal. Drinking alcohol was illegal, but there were ways around it. And what I didn't tell you was where the word bootlegging came from in this time, but I did give you the definition. It's the illegal manufacture, distribution, or sale of goods, especially alcohol or recordings. So where that comes from. All right. So origins of the word bootlegging. I'm going to shift my video panel to the bottom of the screen. Well, actually, I'm going to minimize this, and I'm going to put everyone in some breakout rooms in a minute. So we have 3 questions, and the first question on the right side of the screen, what were some of the ways alcohol was produced? Oh, hold on a second. Wesley, can you mute yourself, please? Or Echinzona, there's a little static. There you go. I got you. No problem. Okay. What were some of the ways alcohol was produced in America during Prohibition. So even though it was illegal, it was still produced. People found ways to make it even when it was against the law. Second question. What was the role of the bootlegger in importing alcohol, bringing it in from neighboring countries? Third, where did the word bootlegger, whoops, I got to change my slide. Glad I noticed. Does everybody see my mistake? The word is derive from. Derive is probably a new word, but it's said in the, you can infer it because it's said in this recording here. Derive means where does it come from? Where does the actual word come from? So I'm going to play the video, and then I'm going to put everyone into breakout rooms. But I'll tell you which breakout room you're going to be in first, so you know which question you want to answer, okay? So when I put you into breakout rooms, I'll generate 3 right now. This is what it's going to be. Okay, question number 1. If you hear your name, you're answering question number 1, okay? So question number 1 will be breakout room 1. That's Angie, Daniela, Echinzona, Eliza,
Joseph.
Kaylee, and Kleshi. Okay, that's for question number 1. Question number 2, Amarilis, Bilma, Karen, Minardi, Joseph, and Sandra. Question number 3, Giselle, Lady, Sandy, Soraya, and Wesley. Okay. Now, if you didn't hear which room you're going to be in, when you go to the breakout room, that's the number of the question. So when you go in, if you didn't write down the question or you're not sure, question number 2, breakout room 2. Question number 1, breakout room 1. Question number 3, breakout room 3. Okay. All right. So I'm going to play the video, and you can watch the captions on the screen. I'm going to enlarge the video right now. Here we go. And you're going to see the closed captions. Make sure the captions are on there. Okay, yes. The captions are right here in the upper left-hand side of the screen, so you can read and listen at the same time. Okay, here we go.
Throughout the 1920s, the 18th Amendment established the prohibition of alcohol as the law of the land. However, millions of Americans were still consuming alcohol in illegal bars known as speakeasies. Who was supplying the speakeasies with alcohol? Where was this alcohol coming from? Many have argued that more alcohol was being consumed during the years of Prohibition than before. Even though alcohol was illegal, it was still finding its way into the public's hands. There were many different sources for the unlawful drinks. In some cases, the alcohol was being produced independently. Beverages such as wine could still be produced in small quantities by each household if the person producing it was not intending to sell it. The growing and selling of grapes became very common in many communities. One California grape producer was even selling a type of juice called Vine Glow. This included a set of instructions of what the purchaser should not do, because if those steps were taken, it would turn into wine in a few months. Some breweries were still open and in business, despite the fact that beer was illegal. These breweries were producing a drink known as near beer, which had extremely low alcohol content and was legal. Many of these breweries were also still producing real beer without the government's knowledge. Medicinal alcohol was also still legal. Therefore, the sale of medicines, elixirs, and tonics increased significantly throughout the Prohibition era. However, most illegal alcohol was arriving in the United States from other countries. Even though alcohol was illegal in the United States, it was not illegal in Canada, Mexico, or the islands in the Caribbean Sea. This alcohol would make its way into the U.S. with the help of bootleggers. Bootlegger is a general term used for anyone who was smuggling alcohol illegally. The term is derived from the notion that a bottle or flask of alcohol would be concealed inside a boot, and thus hidden from the authorities. Most bootleggers would smuggle alcohol from Canada across the border into the U.S. However, there were also many bootleggers bringing in rum and other beverages from Jamaica and other Caribbean islands. The booze was being smuggled into the country in many different fashions: in trucks, by trains, planes, ships, and even on foot. Bootleggers had many different methods for evading detection. Sometimes the alcohol would be packed into crates, which carried false labels. It could be hidden underneath legitimate products such as produce. The alcohol could even be hidden inside items like coconuts or garden hoses. Trucks with false bottoms and secret compartments could also be used. Even individuals had their own way of hiding their personal stash of alcohol. Inside hot water bottles, hollowed out canes, and inside false books were all methods that were implemented. Some would even hide their bottles inside a prosthetic leg. As prevalent as smuggling alcohol was, it became necessary to refer to the product by a different name. Slang terms such as booze, hooch, the devil's candy, and bathtub gin were all used to describe alcohol during the Prohibition era. Speakeasies and other drinking establishments became known as blind pigs or blind tigers. "I have to see a man about a horse" also became a common expression which was understood to mean that the individual was going to go have a drink. The popularity of the speakeasy solidified many of these terms in the American lexicon, and they are still used today.
All right, so there we have it. In order to understand our language, we have to understand our history. So we're going into breakout rooms. Breakout room 1, question number 1. What were some of the ways alcohol was produced in America during Prohibition? Breakout room 2, question number 2. What was the role of the bootlegger in importing alcohol? Question 3, where did the word bootlegger derive from? Okay, I'm going to send you into your breakout rooms right now. Here we go. Okay, join your breakout rooms, please.
Oui.
Please join your breakout room. So Angie, you want to click join. It's at the top of your screen.
Tell me, teacher.
Join your breakout room, please.
Join.
Yes, ma'am. Join your breakout room, please. At the top of your screen, it should say join breakout room. Okay, so we just finished the breakout room discussions. Please, I'd like one volunteer from each group. So breakout room 1, who could tell us the answer to this question? What were some of the ways alcohol was produced in America during Prohibition? Who can give it to us from breakout room 1?
I think it was Canada.
Question is, your answer would go to question number 2, because question number 2 says importing, but this question for breakout room 1 is produced in America. So somebody from breakout, I'm going to take a look at the names. I'll call someone specifically. Here we go. So remember, you want to answer the question specifically. There we go. Let's go with Eliza. How did Americans produce alcohol when it was illegal?
Production independent.
Independent production. Good. Can you give an example?
A person at home. Yup.
They use a secret.
Why?
They use a secret compartments, and the people use inside the books the alcohol, and
that's smuggling, hiding it. That's different from production. Produced. That means how was it made? Not how was it hidden? How was it made? So that's the question. Keep going, Eliza. So you couldn't just go to a supermarket and buy it. How did people make it? Eliza said they made. How did people do it?
They will make their own.
Well, there was many ways.
They produce your own wine at home.
Yeah. Yeah, they would
and no.
Exactly. Yeah, they would buy fermented grapes. They would buy medicine and mix it with soda or water. Many different creative ways to do it. Good. So remember there's a difference between production and hiding. Daniela, what you're talking about is more the smuggling, the importing, hiding it, moving it from one place to the other. The creative ways people would hide it so nobody could see it. Good. Do we have a volunteer for question number 2? What was the role of the bootlegger in importing alcohol?
Tell me.
Whoever said Canada, that's this question.
Okay. I'm a volunteer.
Okay, go for it. Whoever. I don't have the panel up. I don't.
Okay. Me too. I'm a volunteer.
Okay, volunteer 1. Go for it.
Okay. I think the important role of bootlegging and importing alcohol is because there is a high demand of alcohol in the state. Despite
hiding.
You hear me?
We hear you. Yeah, hiding. You said hiding. Yeah.
Yeah. Despite the government doesn't agree to sell alcohol in the state, but the people need to drink. Okay, the people need alcohol because they already went to do party. That's
not quite answering the question. The question is, what is the role of bootlegger? Yeah, go for it.
Sure.
I think the role of a bootlegger was try to sell to people the alcohol and check that the merchandise was fine.
I couldn't quite hear you. It was a little muffled. Say the role of bootlegger.
I'm
What?
trying
Okay.
to, I'm trying to
All
ask,
right,
what's this
hang
name?
on 1 second. Go for it. Yeah,
To
you were
answer.
next. Go for it. Yeah.
I'm
Yep.
trying to answer. Okay. Since 1900 years, the alcohol was prohibited to sell in America. And then many people or decide to sell this product prohibited. Why? Because the illegal products give much money to all who are selling it. And then they are starting to sell this product toward in the country, or all the people, or all the consumer, or the people who want to want to take, or to cons to want to
Well,
take this product.
everyone is answering a question that's not there. One of you answered this question earlier, but you answered it at a different time. Daniela, can you give everybody the answer you gave to question number 1? Because that's the correct answer to question number 2. Daniela, say exactly what you said about 2 minutes ago.
Okay, so they use a secret compartments, and the people use the alcohol inside the books.
There you go. They use secret compartments. So these guys were bootleggers, people with guns. They're criminals. Some of them were often scary. Same business of smuggling illegal things today. Used secret compartments, be it on clothing, on big ships, containers, trains.
Back rooms.
Yeah, exactly. So Daniela, you answered question number 2 perfectly, but you answered it for question number 1.
I changed the group, teacher.
It's okay. So, but everybody else is giving what's called general information. So the period is 1919 to 1933, and everybody else is kind of talking around the question, but not directly answering the question. So the question specifically, what is the role? Role means what did they do? They moved it.
I have an idea, teacher.
From one place to the other. Is that Angie?
Yes.
Angie, you weren't able to join the breakout room. What happened?
I don't know, teacher.
Tell us your idea.
And
Go ahead.
but bootleggers mean somebody makes a alcohol or distributes or sell illegally.
That is correct. Yep, that is correct. Now let's go to question number 3. Where did the word bootlegger derive from? The word itself.
Derived from because they literally were driving alcohol in their boots.
Correct. Exactly. So the word bootleg is right here. It's not a figurative definition. It's literal. If you wear big boots, you can stick a flask inside it. That's where the word bootlegger comes from. Wearing big boots. All right. Now, good work, everybody. Let's see. I'm gonna have to mute a few people. Oh no. I think that is no. Okay. The next one is more about American popular culture. I'm gonna pull up the video panel right here. This is a question for everybody. Okay. All right. So this is a popular sport, car racing. And this was created during the same period, prohibition. I want to see if anybody can take a guess. How is car racing related to the history of prohibition? And these are the dates, 1919 to 1933. Take a guess. Anybody guess? Just raise your hand and guess. Give me the hand raising emoji.
Teacher,
Anybody
maybe
wants to
for
take
the
a guess?
speed is faster.
Okay, Wesley, go for it. Wesley raised his hand. Go for it, Wesley.
The sport that was created in the midst by the same reason of bootlegging's war was NASCAR and races and drivers, because has in my country all the time there's people in the streets illegally clandestine doing races that is so pretty dangerous.
Well, the question is, how is car racing, this sport, related to the history of prohibition? When you said my country, do you mean that racing in the street is illegal? That's how you're relating it?
Yes.
Okay, good guess, but no, good guess, good guess. Can anyone else guess? Now think about this. If you're a bootlegger, that's how you make your money. Why would you need a fast car? A really fast car? If you're moving something illegal, you need to move quickly. That's all I'm going to say. Lenny, tell me.
Teacher, I think so. It's illegal, but gives the money.
I think everybody's still guessing around the question. So the question is, how is car racing related to the history of prohibition? And I'm going to give you the answer in several ways. Behind me is a newspaper, Moonshine Raid. We know the word raid. Remember, ICE raided the mobile phone shop. So Mo lost his job because he didn't have work papers. So we know the word raid. Copperhead Road is a famous street. Moonshine is a type of whiskey. And here are two songs, or I should say two album covers from American popular culture here. So this is My Generation right here, circa 1994, Ice Cube, Bootlegs, and B-sides. The word bootleg, that means illegal copies of songs. Bootlegs and B-sides. B-sides is the flip side of a tape or a record. We stopped saying B-side when we moved to CDs and then digitized music. So the B-side is the less popular song you don't hear on the radio. And this street is Copperhead Road, which is an actual road in the state of Tennessee, where this newspaper comes from. And there's a famous song about bootlegging written by the artist Steve Earle. So I'm going to get a volunteer to read this first stanza of the song. Who wants to practice reading? I see. Okay, yeah.
Now,
Who was it?
Minardi.
Okay, go for it.
Now, Daddy ran the whiskey and a big black dog. Both without an audition at the Mason Lodge. Yeah.
There you go.
Jensen County
Sheriff.
Jensen County Sheriff paint on the side.
Good.
just shot a coat of primer. Then he looked inside. Well,
Him
him and my uncle told that engine down.
Engine.
engine down.
Still. Engine down.
Engine down. I still remember that rumbling sound.
There you go. Excellent. So what's happening in the song? So his dad runs whiskey in a big black Dodge. He buys it at an auction. Now, what type of car did he buy at the auction?
Johnson Country Sheriff?
He bought a police car at an auction. So the town was selling an old police car, and he bought it cheap at an auction. And then what happened? Him and my uncle tore the engine down. Why would two guys buy an old car, take the engine apart? Well, what do they want to do with it? Why would you buy an old car and then take the engine apart, put it back together? Soraya, I think you're about to guess. What are you thinking?
Probably they were trying to sell it or put it in another car.
Not exactly. Actually, one of you is in a car right now. Yep.
They need a-
Why would you? How fast does that car go? When you look at the speedometer, what's the fastest it can go? Probably like 110, right? You would tear the engine apart to make it go faster, make it move quick.
140.
Okay, so 140. Excellent. So never go that fast on the road. You're going to kill somebody. But what if you want to take the engine apart and make it go even faster? Make those wheels turn even faster. So that's what these guys are doing in the song. So the next part of the song, who wants to read this next part?
Me, teacher? I can read.
Go, Letty.
Okay. And then the sheriff came around in the middle of the ride. He remembered crying, knew something wasn't right. He was heading down to Knoxville, with a day weekly lot. You could smell the whiskey burning. John Copperhead Rock?
Yes, exactly. So what's happening in the song? Why is the sheriff showing up at their house? Why did the police come into their house? Because his grandfather is moving whiskey and the police couldn't catch him. So that's the song. I'm going to show you the lyrics to the song right now, but I'm going to stop recording because there'll be a copyright violation. Here we go. Okay, so here's the answer, which was in the song. So the song is about a very real scenario in a very real street where moonshine was moved quickly with very fast cars that created the sport of car racing.
During Prohibition from 1920 to 1933, bootleggers had to run moonshine without getting caught, and that meant building faster cars.
Well, you have to change the engine, build it up a little, get your right gears, right tires, several little secrets. And you used to not buy your product from a racing company. You'd go out in the junkyard and find what you could rig up to do the best job. And it was hard to catch a load of moonshine. They almost had to block them in to catch them.
They put air lifts, adjustomatics on them. Those are the kind of devices that was going on back in the heyday of the moonshine.
And as the custom cars became faster, the drivers wanted to know whose was the best.
It's been told that some of the moonshiners got to betting who had the fastest car. And it was a cow pasture, something down in North Carolina, and they got to racing around through this cow pasture, making bets on who had the fastest car. And that's how the racing really got started. They got to drawing crowds of people. Some people like to go to the movies or go somewhere else. Most everybody hung around here and went to the races.
Those hometown races are the earliest roots of NASCAR.
When NASCAR started, you would drive your car to the track and hope it was able to drive it back.
Some of the most well-known drivers to come out of Virginia have roots in running moonshine, like Paul Radford, who souped up this 1937 Ford in this Franklin County garage, or Wendell Scott, the first African-American driver in NASCAR. And then, of course, there's Junior Johnson.
You know, he was caught. His daddy asked him to go to the still and help him, and he did, and he said, "I'll do it again today, if it's necessary." And so he pulled 18 months at Chillicothe, Ohio, in the federal penitentiary. But when he came back, what did he do? Went right back to doing it. Then Ford Motor Company come along and signed him up with a brand new Ford, high-powered Ford in the racing business.
And even though several famous NASCAR faces came from the moonshine era, the real connection between White Lightning and NASCAR was under the hood.
There were probably more connection within the community of the people that built the motors, the suspensions, and worked on these cars than there ever were with the drivers.
But not all whiskey making led to racing. For many people, selling moonshine was a way to make a living when times were tough.
Rather than easily leading from one causal effect of moonshine leads therefore to NASCAR, I don't think it's just a direct equation, this equals this. I think that, yes, for some people.
Okay, so there is the answer to the question leading up to the break. Okay, bootlegging created a sport. People needed to move alcohol quickly, staying away from the police, and gradually people started placing bets and it became a big time sport. So there is the answer. Guess what? It's time for a break. So 10-minute break, grab a cup of coffee, do what you need to do. I'll give you the dog and the skateboard.
Okay, teacher.
See you in.
Yes, teacher. Thank you.
No, I'm going to give you the exploding watermelon. Exploding
So
watermelon.
you think you know Wix, but do you really?
And here we go. Okay, 10-minute break. 10 minutes. Bye-bye, everybody. Okay, so what we've just been doing is everyone has been completing question 1, question 2. And what I've been noticing is that we still need another Google Classroom review. There it is. So when you open up the Google, okay, somebody's not muted. Oh, Angie, okay. When you go into your Google Classroom page, first you go into classwork. This is what you went over with Simone. This is what you went over with me. So everyone at this moment should have questions number 1 and number 2 answered or be working on it. So you go into the document and you have vocabulary. You also have vocabulary right here to help. And this, I made a video to review how to go in and start doing the work. Now, 4 of you have turned it in. That is that good or is that not good? That is not good. Why? Nobody's finished with this. No one should have turned this in. Excellent. Somebody unsubmitted. Beautiful. It's very easy to submit the document too early. If you submitted it before you finished it, press unsubmit and go back and work on it. So here we go. Why should nobody have finished this document yet? There's 4 questions. You don't have the answers to the last 2 first. So here are the questions. Okay. Everybody needs to stay muted, please. Why does Muhammad lose his job at the mobile repair shop? Most of you have put your answers. This is Soraya's. Good. See how Soraya is working on it right now. Good work. What is his plan to make money? And good. She's answering the second question. That's as far as we've gone because we don't know the answer to question 3 or question 4 yet. I haven't showed it to you. So if you have submitted the entire document, unsubmit it, take it back quickly. So go into unsubmit and just finish question 1 and question 2. We haven't seen the rest of the show yet. So nobody knows the answer to question 3 and question number 4. Okay. So, it looks like the same 4 people continue to submit the document. We need to unsubmit. I'm gonna help these. Okay, so Echigaba, Kleshi, Eliza, and Namik. The 4 of you need to, well, Namik's not here, but the 4 of you to unsubmit the document. So when you go in, it's on the right side of the screen, there's an unsubmit button. That means take it back. You gave it to me too early. Unsubmit. Unsubmit. Take it back. Okay. So there you go. There you go. Beautiful. Unsubmit. Excellent. So
I can't find it.
Yep, it's on the right side of your screen. Unsubmit, because you can't make any changes if you turn it in. And so turn it in after you finish.
I see turn it in.
Well, it looks like you've already turned it in, Flash.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's not letting me write it. I write it on a piece of paper. Maybe I'm doing like wrong.
No. Flashy, when I go in
Yes.
here, there's nothing there.
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to write it, but I don't know how to write it here. That's why I'm doing a paper.
Because you
both
already,
questions.
no, Flashy, you have to unsubmit. I'm gonna write the words.
Yeah, I know what the unsubmit mean, but where can I find it? You tell me on the right side. I'm not find it.
Okay, so you want to go, okay, here's what I'm gonna do.
Yes.
I'm gonna model for everybody how to unsubmit document, okay? Let's see, here we go. Well, you know what, actually, it's on the right side of the screen. You have to, I'm gonna show you, we don't have time right now, but when you go in, when you go in, you go to your student work and it will say on the right side, submitted, that you completed it. And then on the right side, you'll have an option that says unsubmit, and you click that. I'll make a video later on to show everybody how to unsubmit.
All right, thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. So make sure everybody for today just finish questions 1 and questions 2. We're gonna finish 3 and 4 in class on Thursday, and then you can go over everything with Simone on Friday. Okay?
All right.
Yeah. Okay, everybody. So what do you want to have finished by the end of today? Questions 1 and question 2. 1 and 2. Nobody has the answer to 3 yet. Don't turn it in. Nobody knows 3. Nobody knows 4. So don't just slow down if you're going to try to do 3 and 4. Nobody knows the answer yet. We haven't seen it. So just question 1 and question 2. That's it for today. Any questions?
No, teacher. Thank you so much.
No,
Bye-bye,
teacher.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye,
teacher.
everybody.